Welcome to BD Daily Tech News Podcast, your home for daily insights on technology and innovation. I'm your host, and this is Beyond Daily Tech Show for December 11th, 2025.
And I'm your guest. Today's episode is basically Disney flirts with handing Mickey Mouse to an AI, Google stuffs Gemini into your iPhone browser, and CES 2026 promises more robots and chips than a Super Bowl party.
We'll hit three stories. First, reports of a billion-dollar scale Disney move around OpenAI and Sora that could let generative tools work with big Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars brands. Second, Gemini finally arriving in Chrome on iPhone and iPad. Third, what to actually expect from CES 2026 if you care about real products, not just flying robot dogs.
And as always, we'll translate the jargon into what it means for your wallet, your job, and whether your kids are about to ask, why does Darth Vader look like a TikTok filter now?
Let's start with Disney and OpenAI. Industry reports and leaks point to Disney putting roughly $1 billion into an OpenAI partnership, along with a multi-year licensing deal. The idea is that tools like Sora and ChatGPT images could legally generate videos and images using a curated set of Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars characters and worlds.
So basically, Sora goes from generic space wizard to totally not Luke Skywalker. But actually, yes, Luke Skywalker, because Disney said okay. That's a huge shift from studios screaming about AI stealing their IP to, fine, pay us and you can play with it.
Early details suggest some important guardrails. Think animated and illustrated versions of characters, plus costumes, props, vehicles, and environments. What studios really want to wall off is actor voices and real-world likenesses. So you might get a Sora video with Black Widow as a comic-style character, but not something that looks or sounds exactly like Scarlett Johansson.
Which is Disney basically saying, AI can borrow the costume, but it cannot borrow the human. Smart, because voice and face likeness is where lawsuits get spicy and unions get very loud.
There's also a distribution angle people are watching. One scenario being floated is that Disney could stream curated selections of Sora-generated fan videos on Disney+. Imagine you make a really good AI short with Black Panther and Wall-E teaming up, and it actually gets featured on an official channel.
So the dream is your fanfic becomes canon adjacent, and the nightmare is Disney moderating a fire hose of weird prompts like Darth Vader explains compound interest. Somewhere a content review team just felt a disturbance in the force.
Strategically, this would do three things. 1. Give OpenAI a marquee IP partner and a clean licensing story for branded content. 2. Give Disney a front-row seat to how generative video behaves at scale. 3. Create a blueprint for how other studios might license content to AI platforms instead of just suing them.
Yeah, this is Hollywood going from AI is stealing our stuff to AI is a new distribution channel. Let's get a cut. If you're a smaller studio or a game publisher, you're watching this and thinking, okay, what's my Sora deal worth?
For normal people, the impact could be pretty direct. If this rolls out the way it's being described, you'd be able to generate Disney-branded images and short clips inside ChatGPT and Sora. Your kid's birthday invite could be a custom Pixar-style short, made in a few prompts instead of a week in After Effects.
And for creators, this is like someone just unlocked the premium asset pack. You still need taste and storytelling, but you don't need a Marvel-level VFX budget to play in those worlds. The flip side is, if everyone can make a decent Star Wars short, the bar for wow content goes way up.
There's also a developer angle. Disney is widely expected to become a major OpenAI customer and use the APIs to build new products, tools, and experiences, including for Disney+. That could mean more AI-driven personalization, smarter recommendation systems, and internal tools for scripting, localization, and asset management.
If you work in media, marketing, or design, assume your pipeline will touch generative AI somewhere in the next 12 to 24 months. Either you're using these tools or you're competing with people who do.
Actionable takeaway here. If you're a creative pro, start experimenting now with AI video and image workflows, even on unbranded content. Learn prompt engineering, storyboarding for AI, and basic editing. So when licensed IP opens up, You're ready to pitch real projects, not just memes.
And if you're a parent, maybe set some family rules early. Like, yes, you can make a Sora video with Elsa. No, you cannot deep fake your teacher into a lightsaber duel. Treat AI like you treated social media. Fun, but not a free-for-all.
Let's shift to story 2. Google's Gemini AI is finally coming to Chrome on iPhone and iPad. After rolling out on desktop and Android earlier this year, Google says it's enabling an in-browser Gemini experience for iOS users, starting with a limited rollout in the US.
So if you've ever looked at a 3,000-word article on your phone and thought, absolutely not, Gemini is now that friend who reads it and gives you the 3 bullet points. Except sometimes that friend is confidently wrong, so you still have to check their homework.
Interface-wise, you'll see a new Spark icon near the address bar, replacing the old Google Lens camera in some builds. Tap it and you get a Pages tool with Lens, plus a new option called Ask Gemini. By default, it knows about the page you're on, so you can ask it to summarize, generate FAQs, or explain concepts in simpler language.
For students and self-learners, this is huge. You can literally say, quiz me on the key ideas from this article, and turn doom scrolling into study scrolling. Just remember, Google itself says you shouldn't rely on this for anything critical, like medical or legal decisions.
Gemini's responses float over the web page, and you can start a fresh chat from the top right. It's tied to your signed-in Chrome profile, and it doesn't run in incognito. So, from a privacy standpoint, assume your prompts and page context are going to Google servers under their AI data policies.
Yeah, this is not a tinfoil hat moment, but it is a don't paste your company's secret roadmap into a random browser chat moment. Use it for public info, learning, and drafting, not for sensitive internal docs.
For everyday users, the big benefit is time. Summarize key takeaways, turn a recipe into a gluten-free version, compare product specs across tabs, or generate FAQs about a topic you're researching. It's like having a research assistant baked into your mobile browser.
And for developers and content folks, assume users will see AI summarized versions of your pages. That means clear structure, good headings, and actually useful content, because Gemini will surface the meat and skip the fluff.
Actionable tip. If you're a knowledge worker, treat Gemini in Chrome as a first draft engine. Use it to compress reading, generate outlines, and create question lists. But always click through to original sources before making decisions or sending anything important to a client or manager.
Basically, let AI do the boring 60%, so you can spend your brain power on the tricky 40%. Just don't outsource your judgment. The model is smart, not responsible. You are the responsible one, unfortunately.
Story 3. CES 2026. The show floor in Las Vegas runs early January, and this year is shaping up to be peak AI everywhere, in chips, TVs, laptops, and home robots.
CES is like Tech New Year's. Companies show off the stuff they're proud of and the stuff they hope we forget by March. But this time, almost everything has an AI label slapped on it, and some of it actually deserves it.
On the chip side, expect AMD, Intel, and Qualcomm to lean hard into so-called AI PCs. Think thinner laptops that don't sound like jet engines when you open 40 tabs and run an AI model, plus better battery life and more on-device acceleration for things like live transcription and image generation.
So if your laptop is older than about 4 years, 2026 might be the year where an upgrade actually feels different. Instant on, all-day battery, and AI features that don't feel like a gimmick. Also, your next PC might quietly not be x86, and you won't care as long as Zoom works.
Displays are another big theme. TV makers are teasing next-gen backlight tech that uses more precise red, green, and blue control to get OLED-like color and brightness with less risk of burn-in, plus new HDR formats that promise smarter tone mapping and motion handling.
In human terms, brighter TVs that make sports, games, and movies pop without turning everyone orange, and standards wars that you will ignore until you buy a TV and ask, why does this one have this HDR logo and that one has a different one?
Robotics will be everywhere too. Think robot vacuums with retractable mop arms, better obstacle avoidance, and early experiments with so-called world models, AI systems trained to understand 3D environments, not just 2D images. The goal is robots that can navigate your home more like a human,
not just bounce off furniture.
So instead of a dumb puck that eats your sock, you get a slightly smarter puck that recognizes that is a sock, that is a dog, and that is a charging cable I should not eat. Still not Rosie from the Jetsons, but it's progress.
If you are a consumer, the move is not to buy every AI-stamped gadget, but to look for 3 things. Does it save you time? Does it reduce friction? And does it keep data processing as close to the device as possible? On-device AI for voice, transcription, and personalization is usually a privacy and latency win.
And if you work in tech, CES is your cheat sheet for the next 12 to 24 months. What chips ship in January show up in mainstream laptops by back to school. What TV tech debuts now becomes mid-range by Black Friday 2026. Planning your upgrades with that lag in mind can save you a lot of money.
Quick recap before we wrap. Disney's rumored billion-dollar-scale OpenAI deal shows how big IP owners might license content into AI systems with strict guardrails, turning fan-generated AI videos into a semi-official content stream. Google's Gemini in Chrome on iOS turns your mobile browser into an AI reading companion. Powerful, but still fallible.
And CES 2026 is about AI going from buzzword to background feature. Faster chips, brighter screens, smarter robots. The theme across all 3 stories is the same. AI is moving inside the tools you already use, not sitting off on a separate app island.
Action steps for you. Experiment with AI creative tools now so you're ready if licensed IP opens up. Use browser AI like Gemini as a time saver, but not a truth oracle. And if you're planning hardware upgrades, watch what actually ships around CES instead of just the hype reels.
And tell us, what would you actually make if you had legal access to Disney characters in an AI video tool? A Star Wars cooking show? A Marvel workout coach? Drop your wildest but still PG-13 ideas in the comments.
If you found this useful, follow BD Daily Tech News Podcast. Share this episode with a friend who's trying to make sense of AI. And hit subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's deep dive.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Beyond Daily Tech Show. Same feed, same chaotic energy, more tech news tomorrow.